Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful pram blanket. Now this is a double alpine stitch, and close up you can see it's like a triangle set of around the post stitches. And when it's far down, look at that, it's absolutely beautiful. Now I've just threaded a ribbon around, all around the edge, like this, just to make it extra pretty. And this is a beautiful stitch. It's a really nice soft stitch, and it's a lovely light blanket as well. Not got my ribbon quite straight on there. Now I just threaded the ribbon through some of the post stitches all around this. So I'm going to show you how to make this double alpine stitch blanket. This is the reverse of the blanket. The reverse is really pretty as well, and you should really give this a try. If you make and sell your blankets, I think this will be very popular. It's a really pretty blanket, and it's got a rib stitch border. I'll show you how to do that as well. The yarn I used is a Red Heart yarn. I'll leave a link to the Lovecrafts website where I bought my Red Heart yarn, and this is Hawaiian Blue. This one is called Hawaiian Blue. To make this a beautiful stitch, it's quite a delicate stitch as well, but it's very pretty, and in any colour. You can see how that it makes that little sort of pattern when it's down low, so that you can see it. Once I've got this up to the height I need it, I'll show you how to put an edge on as well. But when I'm showing you how to do it, look at my edge. Look how straight my edge is. I'm going to show you how to do a nice straight edge without doing a chain 3. Now a lot of the time when you do a UK treble, that's a USA double crochet, you do a chain of 3 to get up your height. I'm going to show you how you don't need to do that. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to do it in a way that gives you this fabulous straight edge like this, and it's absolutely lovely. But once I've got this one finished, I've still got some more to do. I'll show you how to do an edge all around the blanket. Look at that, it's a really pretty pattern, so it is, and this is a beautiful shade of blue. I'm going to show you how to do this. My sample that I'm going to make is in this Red Heart Lemonade. If you like to make baby blankets, this is a beautiful shade of lemon, and it's called Lemonade, and it's a Red Heart yarn as well. You'll find that on Lovecrafts as well. So I'm going to pop that up there. So the hook I'm going to use is a 5.5mm hook. This is a 5.5mm hook in the UK. So what we're going to start with is a slip knot, and to do that I just put the tail down there, wrap it around my fingers like this, just take this part and pop it underneath that one, and then pull your fingers out, and that's you got your slip knot. Put it on my hook and just tighten it up. Now when you do the chain for this, you're going to do an odd number of chains. So that's either like 23, 63, 75, whatever length that you need it in, but do it in an odd number. When you do your chain, don't do it too tight. If you want the bottom of your blanket to be nice and straight like this, if you do it too tight, it'll turn up like this, and you don't want your edge of your blanket to be like that. You want it to be nice and straight like this. So don't do your chain too tight. So you can use any yarn you like for this. Use the hook that tells you on the label. So I'm going to do my chain, and I'm going to do it quite slack. Done, and I've done 31 stitches. So I've done 31, and I've done my chain quite slack so it doesn't go like that once I've started my blanket. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go into the second stitch in the chain. I'm going to go into the second stitch, but I'm going to turn my chain around like this, and we're going to go into those bumps. Can you see those bumps that's on each stitch? And that way we'll have a nice edge on the blanket. If you don't want to put a border on your blanket, if you do it this way, you'll get a really nice edge along the bottom of your blanket. So we're going to go into the second bump in your chain, the second bump, that's the second stitch. We're going to do a UK double crochet. If you're in the USA or another country, this is a single crochet, and we're going to put one in each bump all the way along. So we're going to do one row of double crochet. So just put your hook through the second little bump in your chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through those two hoop loops, straight into the next one, yarn over, pull through those two loops into the next little bump all the way down your chain. So we're going to do this all the way to the end, and I'll come back and show you what to do next. Is a treble crochet. If you're in the USA, this is a double crochet for you. In the UK, this is a treble crochet. Now I'm going to show you how you keep that nice straight edge like this. I'll put it up against the dark colour there. I'm going to show you how to do this nice straight edge, and you can see how blue this red heart yarn is as well on that. You're going to just pull your stitch up about a half an inch, about that much. Just pull that stitch up like that and turn your work. Now you're going to go into that very first little space there. I'll move that yarn out of the way. Usually you would go into this. Usually what you would do is chain 3 and then go into this stitch here. We're not doing that this time. We're just pulling the stitch up tall, and we're going to go into this very first space. So put your yarn over as if you were going to do a treble crochet and go into that space. Pull your yarn through, yarn over, come through 2 loops and yarn over and through 2 loops. Now it looks like you've got a chunkier stitch, but when we work along and we get back to this end, we're not going to work into the chain. We're going into the little gap that's in here. There's a little gap. I'll show you that when we get to it. So don't worry about that looking a little chunky. Once we start get going, that'll make your edge like this one. It's going to make your edge really nice and straight. We're going to do a treble crochet all the way to the end. If you're in the USA, this is a double crochet. Now all the way to the end. Now you can see that that stitch is slightly bigger than those, but when we do our next row, we're going in between it. We're not going on to the end of the chain because that'll add a stitch. We're going in the middle of it, and that's going to keep your edge nice and straight. I'll show you that when we get to it. Now do a treble crochet all the way to the end. We need 3 rows of our foundation before we start this pattern. So we need 1 row of double crochet, 1 row of treble crochet, and 1 more row of double crochet, and that's your foundation you need to build this double alpine stitch. If you're in the USA, that is 1 row of single crochet, one row of double crochet and one more row of single crochet. So I'll finish this treble crochet and I'll show you what to do at the end. So I'm at the end of my row. I'm not going to go into the chain down here. I'm just going to go into the middle of the stitch. I'm going to do my last treble in the middle of that stitch. That's going to keep my edge nice and straight. Now we're going to do one more row of a UK double crochet, and this will be a USA single crochet row. So just chain one and turn. We're not going to chain two, we're only going to chain one, and then we're going right in to that stitch there, straight in there, and pull through and come through your two loops. Every single time we get to the end of our rows, we're going to go into the stitch, not into the top of any chains, because we don't have any chain threes or anything like that. Now don't worry about that, that just belongs to that bottom bit down there. So we're going to do a double crochet into every stitch all the way along to the end, and that gives us our foundation to start dropping down and working these stitches. When we do the alpine stitch, we're actually dropping down and going around the posts of these stitches. I'll show you that in a minute. So we'll just get to the end, we'll do a double crochet all the way to the end. If you're in the USA, this is a single crochet. So I'm at the end. So remember we just pulled the stitch up and we didn't do a chain three. What you're going to do is just pull that stretch stitch that you did and put your hook in between those two. It looks like you've got two treble crochets here. You've got your treble crochet in that pulled up stitch that we did. Remember we just pulled it up high. So we're just going to go in between there and do our double crochet. So look how straight that is. We haven't added any stitches or anything. That is going to be there all the way up the side, and it's keeping your pattern there as well. What we're going to do now is we're going to pull the chain again. Pull that stitch up like this. Turn your work, put your yarn over, and what we're going to do is just ignore that. Ignore that one. That's your stretch stitch. That's going to keep your edge all nice and straight. This one and this one, we're going to work around these two stitches. So put your hook around that post like that. Put your yarn over and pull it through and pull your stitch up. Stretch it up. Yarn over and come through two loops, yarn over and through two loops. So what you have is, that's going to tuck itself to the back, that's a stretch stitch, and we've got one nice stitch here, and you've still got your straight edge. Now into this next one, we're going around the post, we're going in around like that, right around through the back. So yarn over and go right around that post. Now these are the long posts of the treble crochets that are in the middle of your double row here. See, that one down here is this one down here is your double crochet row, and that's your other double crochet row, and this is your treble crochet. It's these taller stitches that we're working around. So just pull your yarn up, give it a little pull, up to the same height as the other one. Now we're going to be doing a treble crochet into the very next stitch. So that's the very next stitch on the left. Yarn over and do your treble crochet. One treble crochet into the next one. That's the top row, that's your little double crochet row. Now we're going to drop down. So we're skipping these two, skip that long one and skip that long one, and we're going to work around the post of this one and this one. So yarn over, skip that long post and skip that one and go behind the next one. So you'll be working two, skipping two, working two and skipping two. So pull your yarn up, do your treble crochet. If you're in the USA, this is a double crochet. In the UK, this is called a front post treble crochet. If you're in the USA, it's a front post double crochet. So yarn over and go around the next one and pull your stitch up. You've got to pull your stitch up. So into the very next stitch on the top row, do a treble crochet. And the very next stitch, again, do a treble crochet. So it's 2 drop down stitches, 2 trebles, 2 drop down ones, you're dropping down to that row of long posts, and 2 treble crochets. And this is what your pattern repeat's going to be. You'll be dropping down to these 2 stitches. Your next row is a double crochet row, and then you'll use these ones to do your around your post. You'll miss these 2 out and you'll work these 2. So what we're going to do now is we're going to skip. We've done that one, so we're going to skip that one, and we're going to move over to the third one. It looks as if you're going over too far, but you're not. So yarn over, pull through and pull your stitch up, wriggle it up and finish your treble crochet. Yarn over and go behind the post of that stitch, pull it up and finish your treble crochet. Now right into the stitch right beside that one, that stitch there, do a treble crochet and the next one. So it's like 2 stitches on the top, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, all the way along. Yarn over. So we need to leave that one and move to the next 2. So it's skip 2, work 2, skip 2 and then work 2. So we're skipping those 2 and going around the post of that one. Pull it up and yarn over and do the next one. Pull your stitch up and then right into the stitch that's right beside that one there, you're going to do your treble crochet. And that keeps your stitch count correct. And as you can see your pattern starting to develop. 2 posts to work. Even if you've got a post on the end, still work it. So around that one and pull up and around that last one. So just go in behind that one and pull up your stitch. You're going to chain 1 and turn, and you're going into that very first space. I know it looks a little big, but don't worry about it. You're going to do your row of double crochet all the way along. On the back of the blanket, we're going to do our double crochet row. If you're in the USA, this is a single crochet row all the way to the end. So I'm near the end and I've got that little clumpy one. I'm going in to the middle of it, just into the middle. We're not going into any of the chains at the top. Now these are the 2 rows that you'll keep repeating. Is when you're on the back of your blanket, it will be a row of double crochet, or if you're in the USA, it's a row of single crochet. pull your stitch up to do your treble crochets. We're going to turn. So you've got your tall stitch here and you're going into this space here, remember. We're going to work into this one and this one, and then we're going to go around the post of these two here. So remember, you've got your tall stitch, go into that space there for your treble crochet, go into there for your first treble crochet and finish your treble crochet. And look how nice and straight my edge is. A treble crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to go around the post with these two. You can clearly see where you're going now. You've got two that are standing proud to the front and two that look as if they're near the back, two that are at the front. So the two that are sunk down a little bit, these are the ones that we're going to work around. So yarn over and go around that post and pull up your stitch. Remember, and pull that stitch up. Yarn around your hook and go around that tall post and pull up to the same height as your other stitches. Now these ones are already forward, so into the stitch right beside this one, the one that's right there, you're going to do your normal treble crochet. That's a double crochet if you're in the USA, and put one into the next stitch. So it's 2 small trebles, 2 around the post, 2 small trebles and 2 around these posts. The next one, drop down and finish that one. And we've got 2 stitches left. Treble crochet into that one, and here's your other little one. Don't go into the chain, go right into the middle of the stitch. Treble crochet right into there, and that keeps your edge nice and straight. Look how nice and straight my edge is. And the same on that side. I've got a nice straight edge on that side as well, and that's doing it without a chain. We're going to chain 1. Normally you would chain 2 when you're going to do a double crochet row, but we're only chaining 1 and turning and going straight into that first space. So when you're on the back of your blanket, it's always a double crochet row. That's a single crochet row if you're in the USA. So we're going to do that all the way to the end. Straight edge, we don't have extra stitches or anything. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull the stitch up tall and turn. And there's our 2 stitches. These ones are forward, so we're going to be working on these ones. Each row is alternative. You'll do around the post on these 2, you'll work on the top stitches above these 2, and you'll work around the post on these ones, and you can clearly see the ones that you're going to work around the post on. So yarn over, just keep your big stitch there, and you're going around that post, not that little tall stitch, around this post of this one. Just pull your stitch up through 2 and through your other 2 loops. So your tall stitch kind of tucks itself in around the back, and you get this nice straight edge up the side of your blanket. So we're going to go around the next post. So yarn over and go around that post. Just work around it, pull your stitch up and finish your treble crochet. Then you're going into the stitch right beside that one, right to the left of that one, and do your treble crochet. And these are the 2 rows that you'll repeat all the time. And these are the 2 rows that you'll keep repeating. You'll keep repeating around the post, and then when you're on the back, it's a double crochet row. and then you'll be working around the posts again. So on this next row, when you start your next row, it's going to be 2 treble crochets and you'll work around these 2 posts. So I'll work my way along this one, around the post, and treble crochet into the stitch that's at the left of it, and one into the next stitch. These are the ones that end up above those ones that are sticking out already. So we're going to work in around the post of these ones that are at the back. 1 and 2. Remember and pull your stitch up. And a treble crochet into the top row right beside that one. And 1 into the next stitch. And that's the way you'll work it. When you get to the end, you'll chain 1 and turn, and you'll do a row of double crochet all the way along, and then repeat your alpine stitch. And look at that, that is so pretty. Put it down so you can see it, and it looks like you've got like a little cross section in there. And you'll keep repeating those 2 rows until your blanket is as big as you want it. Now I'll get my other one back. So this is what my blanket's looking like now. Isn't that really pretty, that pattern? It's quite a delicate pattern as well, and I'll show you it close up. It's really nice. Now what I did, I've picked up all along the edge around the treble crochets, the very last treble crochet, I put 2 treble crochets around it. If you're in the USA, that's a double crochet. I put 5 around the corners. I worked my way all along the edge of the blanket, and I put 5 around this corner. Now on the bottom I already had the spaces there, so I just put 1 treble crochet into each of the spaces in between these ones, and up the side again I did 5 around the corner, and then I just picked up 2, I put 2 treble crochets around the very last of these treble crochet rows. Just as long as you make it even, as long as you have the same amount of stitches going up either side, and the same on the bottom as the top, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this edge into a rib stitch, and that will be going around that post from the front and then going around that one from the back. Around the post from the front, the next one will be around the back. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to my next post. So if you're in the UK, this is a front post treble crochet, and if you're in the USA or another country, this is a front post double crochet. So put your yarn over and just go around that post right through the back, just like we've been doing for the inner part of the blanket, and pull your yarn through, yarn over, and you'll go to the next one. Now go in from the back and around the post like that. Just pull your yarn back through and finish your stitch, and that'll pull that stitch to the back. The next one, yarn over and go around the front. So pull it to the front and do your treble crochet. Yarn over, the next one, go around the post. So we're using the post of the stitch. I'm going around it like that. Just pull my yarn through, and I'm going to do that for 2 rows all the way around my blanket. And the next one is the back. then I'm going to do a front post treble crochet and then a back post. Go around the back and just pull your yarn through. I'll show you more closely what I'm doing. I'm going around the post of the stitch, pull my yarn through, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over and through 2 loops, then yarn over again, and I'm going around the back. I'm just going in that space and thread it through to the back, trapping that post around my hook, and pull my yarn through and finish the treble crochet. So that's a front post treble crochet and a back post. Go around so that the stitch is at the back of your hook. So a front post, so the stitch is on the front of my hook, and a back post, so around, so the stitch is at the back of my hook. And I'm going to do that all the way around, and what it's doing, it's making like a rib stitch. So I think I'll do one more row after this, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. I'm going to work my way all the way around my blanket, and I'll see what it looks like with one row, but I think I might need 2. So I've got my initial trebles that I picked up, and I've got one row of my rib stitch done, and it's looking really pretty. I want to show you the back of this blanket. This is the back of the blanket. The back's got a really nice pattern to it as well, and you can see that rib that we're doing on the blanket. Now I've done one row and I'm going to do another one. So again, I'm just going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. And this one, because we're not turning the blanket, this one's in the front of us, so that is what I'm going to do. I've got this little stitch here that's at the back, so I'm going to yarn over and just do a back post stitch with that one, and then around the front, the one at the front's already there, and then that one's at the back, so we're going to do a back post stitch, keep that one to the back, and a front post, and we're going to do that for one more round all the way around my blanket, and that'll give me a really nice edge around this little blanket that I've done. I'll have a really nice rib around the edge. So I've gotten all the way around and I've cut my yarn. I just slip stitched onto the top of that last stitch. I'll get a darning needle and I'll stitch in my tail end. Now look at this. This is so pretty. My blanket is 46 stitches wide. It's 46 stitches wide for my blanket, for that inner part. And then just remember that we picked up a treble crochet, 2 treble crochets around each of those longer stitches in the blanket along the end, and then we did this rib stitch around, 1 front post stitch, 1 back post treble crochet, 1 front post treble crochet and 1 back, all the way around the blanket, and this is what we got. So please subscribe to my channel. Just click on that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe to my channel. There's a subscribe button there, and if you click on that bell icon, you'll be reminded by YouTube when I put up another tutorial. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.